We are looking at Banter bubbles. Can you guys see my screen?
Good morning.
Blood. Guys, can you see this Banter bubble screen?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
You see it.
Blood on the dance floor. Look at this roll bit. 18%. Stacks 4.6. ETH 3. Ape is 8% down. We're taking some hit here. Things are looking very dark out there. ARB is minus 9.9. So how's everyone feeling? things are looking quite spicy. I see we've lost some major levels on some of these altcoins, but some of them surprisingly are holding really well. I see Rune is still hanging in there. I see Renders hanging in there. I see Injectives holding on. Things like Matic looking very sad. AVAX losing big levels. DOT is really moving into an area of big interest for me. 3.8, 3.9 for DOT is looking very attractive. Gala's down. So guys, we're going to go through all of these. Things have been very messy out there. I think it was sparked by the FTX situation. There seems to be some potential selling pressure coming, and I think the market is trying to price it in now. I mean, I don't even think they've sold anything yet, but everyone's preempting some dark days ahead, and this is where we are. You know, the market's selling, and for me this creates opportunity, because by the time this news comes around that they actually are or have been or have started selling, I think there's going to be some big reversals. We've got people shorting everything here. They're just piling into shorts. It's getting darker and darker and darker. But I think ultimately, once we start hitting some key areas on some of these alts and BTC, we're going to get a nice hard reversal. When that's be, I'm assuming it's going to be this week. We got CPI coming, and we've also got that quadruple witching situation we need to deal with. So there's going to be volatility, and there's going to be a lot of action. So it's a very exciting week coming up. So yeah, in front of me, I've got the BTC 8 hour. Well, this is the BTC 4 hour. It's actually in a zone of interest for me right now. I actually said to Dave, are we going long here? And he wasn't that interested. I was quite surprised. I thought we were going to be longing this together, brothers in arms. I was pulling out my leverage account ready to go here. So Dave says he's looking for something lower. Dave, do you want to give us a comment here on BTC and what you're looking for here?
Yes. So let me just pull up my chart while you have yours on. Yeah, I mean, I had an alert that went off, but again, everything is just super bearish. America or USA just opened. Yeah, they like to play games during the session. I feel like we'll probably have another touchdown. I have an alert set at 25-100 or 25-115, where I'll potentially look for that SFP. But right now it could be the SFP, right? But with everything that's going on, I would just say be cautious.
Yeah. FYI, the Dow is up 122, Nasdaq's up 58. So the stock markets are actually okay today.
Okay, let's have a look at the stock markets. Nice to have a little bit of green somewhere. Look, I mean, this crypto just often starts feeling like an own goal every now and again when these type of things happen. Okay, so yeah, this was my last sort of take on the S&P. Yeah, just looking at this little flag situation forming here. I think it needs a lot of time to get down to this trend. There's a lot that can happen in this space here. Did they close that little gap that we had the other day? No, they didn't close this gap here. So that is something to keep an eye on as well. And I noticed the Apple chart. If anyone wants to look at Apple later, I'm happy to pull that up. That's quite a talking point as well. Also looking a little bit sad these days. So here, S&P as we stand, yeah, up a little bit. That's interesting. Let's take a look at this Dixie. Rejection. Okay, that's lovely. Okay, so those two are tying in very nicely. We got the Dixie coming down here. So we're looking at a current support area now. Actually, it's pushing into this zone here. Let's see if we got anything happening there with the fibs. So yeah, this is an area where we could get some kind of bounce on the Dixie, so that's not going to be very handy. This bleeding Dixie was obviously ideal for crypto, but there's other news happening in crypto now, so we are getting smashed, unfortunately. Right, guys, so BTC situation, this is not my worst area for me, this 25,350 where we are now. In fact, anywhere down here is what we were actually looking for, this little SFP situation. Dave wants to see a little bit lower, so I'm going to be guided by you, Dave, on this SFP. You'll let us know what your thoughts are there. Let's just zoom out quickly on BTC and get a bigger picture. Okay, so this is the move that I'm personally sort of eyeing out, that I'd like to see play out. Doesn't mean it will play out. It's just something I'm interested in. It's a bigger move down, and I was looking for this fake out to the downside. I want to take out this wick over here. I want to take out this region, this 24.8, and I want it to bleed into that. And actually, I think that's where we're going to get our main move. So the current zone where we are in right now is an area I'm interested for, a little bounce like that. But I am looking for a slightly longer term. I wanted to see it melt down into this zone and then push up. I think that's where we're going to get our maximum areas there. And you're going to see things like DOT coming down. We're going to see AVAX hitting new areas. I mean, this AVAX is looking very sad. Let me just locate this AVAX chart. Look at this thing. I mean, we've now lost this major 9.4 region, guys. So if we don't reclaim this quite quickly, I think we're going to start this journey down. This was a major weekly area for AVAX, and we saw a lot of these altcoins pushing into these trend lines. A lot of the same. Sol looked like this, Injective looked like this. There were tons, and we had that rejection. We've now lost this major weekly support. So right now there is no long situation developing here on AVAX that I can see. We are going to look for potentially shorts into any strength that we get out of these altcoins. So we need to just assess some of these areas. Let's pull up a closer version of AVAX. And guys, in the chat, anything that you see performing out there right now, where you're seeing opportunity. I know somebody was talking about BLZ. Let us know what else you're seeing out there. This is a team effort. We're working on this stuff together. So let us know. Okay, here's the 382. So I'm going to just move this block. AVAX, any strength into AVAX, I think we're going to get short opportunities. So let's eye out this zone here. We've got this trend and 382. That's quite interesting at 9.5. So that's pretty decent for me. Right now, we aren't on any decent level of support, so there's no long brewing here. So on AVAX, and you're going to see this on a lot of these alts now. Now we're looking at strength into these areas where we're going to look for rejections. We've seen this play out many times. And yeah, similar move to that. We had that rejection. Let's see if we get that same situation, and then we can send it lower down. Okay, so guys, I've got some tokens in front of me. Gala is one of them. Dave, can I leave Gala to you? Are you still charting Gala?
You could, yeah.
Okay, so I'll skip Gala. Bruce, let me know what you want to cover today. I'm assuming you got Sol.
I got Sol. I got a bunch of alts that are actually we're moving over the weekend that I can go over.
Nice. Okay, thanks, guys. Let me cover some of these here and just try and get to grips with what we are dealing with and what we're looking at here. So this is Link, 8 hour. It's lost. It had a beautiful trend that it was riding up, and it actually lost that trend. You can see over here, it lost it this weekend and just started bleeding down. Support areas for Link, I'm looking down here at 5.64. This is an area where I'm interested. Right now, there's no longs here for me. You can see we've been bleeding out. So if you're shorting now, it's possibly a little bit late. You want to short on any strength. So let's pull some fibs. Let's assume that was the bottom of that move. Let's look for a retracement here. These are the types of areas that you would look for rejections and areas to short when things are trending down like this. Okay, so those are there. some couple of zones for you. There's a 382 at 6.05, and there's a 618 at 6.2. That'll take a hell of a move to get up there. And then obviously your range high. So right now, long wise, I'd like to see a rejection on Link and a push lower, and then maybe an opportunity there. This band over here that I have for you is another level that is interesting. It's this weekly level from ages ago. Let's zoom out and just give you an idea as to where we are and why I think Link could actually drift lower. Look at this area here. So we've got this region from May 22 that's been tapped. So I'd like to see it eventually come back down to this area for another look. This was on this major dump that we had a couple of months ago, and these lows are obviously can also still come into play at 4.9. But for me, next major area for Link is around 5.5. I'd be looking for a decent bounce in that region. And then short term, we can ride this thing up and look for shorts at resistance zones like these 382s, the 618s, and we can look for bounces in these areas here. Let's take a look at Fetch. So a lot of these you're going to see we've lost these areas, and now we have a nice confirmed downtrend that we can work with. So if you are looking for a complete change of trend or breakout situations, you can just track this trend. When things do turn bullish again, you can look for positions there. Otherwise, we are just looking to let this thing drift down lower. I quite like the 618 region on Fetch at 0.21, 0.2, that sort of level. I think we'll get a decent reaction there. You can see why I like it. We've got this horizontal support as well, and then we've got the 618 that we pulled from the low. So it's that August low to the high in September. So that for me is a decent zone to look for Fetch. If it turns before that and you have FOMO or whatever, rather wait for this trend to break, guys, and then we can trade that long. Okay, here's Rune. Rune's really done well, considering what's going on. I mean, it's hardly sneezed, and still tracking this trend down lower. I've got the 618, but it's actually in an upward trend here, so it's really doing nicely at the moment. So let's see what happens. Let's see if we get the move down. I'd look for something there. If we lose this area, guys, we've only got the 200-day left, and then it's a long way down to that region. So if we do manage to lose these areas, I wouldn't be jumping in anything too quickly. I'd look for something lower down in this region here, this 1.09, 1.07 zone. But remember that 200-day can give us some kind of support. So if we lose that or we wick down, that is something to pay attention to. Optimism finally came into our zone. Still a little bit high for me. The alarm hasn't gone off yet. It's we're still waiting here at 1.19, 1.2. You could look for something there. But I do like this area. Sometimes these big head and shoulders do actually play out completely, and we are nearly there. So that was cool. The CAS one unfortunately didn't play out, and CAS is now still holding out really well. We're going to look at CAS as well just now for you guys. Sol, okay, Bruce, I'll leave Sol to you. BLZ, anyone trade this thing? I mean, this thing just keeps surprising me non-stop.
Yep. Yeah, I've been scalping it.
Nice, Bruce. Nice. Okay. So yeah, BLZ, I've teed up the 618 on a pullback. If we get it, we've seen BLZ respond very well to these 618s previously, guys. So let's see what we get when we get back there. Bruce, if you have a different take on a shorter time frame, I mean, please jump in. You can share that setup if you've got it. But yeah, for me right now, BLZ, I'd wait personally for a move lower to the 618. Let's look at dYdX. Yeah. This was great. If you're still short here, you are killing it. I would have probably exited here by the 618. We didn't get a bounce. I mean, we got a reaction, but it's just the selling pressure is just too strong at the moment, and we are drifting down. So this 1.8 is an area I like again for dYdX. I think we're going to get a nice opportunity if we get that. As far as potential shorts go, you can see it's setting up beautifully here now, guys. We've got this nice resistance zone to watch. We've got a trend. So if we do get a push up, we can easily look for something in this region now. This looks like a nice resistance area for us, 618 trend area. That could be a good one. So 1.9, any strength on dYdX, you could look for something there. GRT, another big level lost here. Let's zoom out. We've got this channel and we are drifting. This is not looking good, GRT. So again, teeing up beautifully for a potential short setup, and I'm going to show you why. If we get a push up, we've got old support, and we're going to turn that old support into resistance. So if we get that move up here, this looks like a nice juicy zone, a 236 horizontal and a trend. A very juicy area for me. I think we'll get a nice reaction there. If it does manage to break up, this is your next major area. Look at this, 382 and some horizontals here. So that could be another great area for a short. So there's two options here on GRT. So first one is 0.082 to 0.083, and then your 382 fib a little bit higher, 0.085. So I'm loving both of those. As far as bounce zones are concerned, let's take a look here. We've got this band here that I've identified, 0.075. It looks like a good zone. And then when the wheels really come off, and that's if they really come off, we're looking at 0.055. That's a massive move from here still. So let's just get an idea. It's another 26%. Definitely not impossible in crypto. That can happen in 2 hours while you go for lunch. So yeah, these things do happen. Okay, Phantom again. Yeah, Phantom's similar setup. We were looking at, I think it was to link, similar vibe. We're looking at a move lower to these wicks. I want to see these wicks get pinged again. This is a major weekly area. This whole band here from 0.16 to 0.18. This whole area is actually quite an interesting zone. You can see why we've got this big zone. They were bouncing around in here. There's a weekly zone to watch. So yeah, nothing too exciting on Phantom yet until we get lower, or if we push higher. Again, guys, this is now range highs. There's an alarm here for you. We want to see that push into there. You can see we've got this resistance zone. We've got this area here. So this is an area I'm looking for. If we do get some kind of bullish push, we're looking for a rejection. We've also got the 50-day MA drifting here. So there's a lot going on for a move up on Phantom, and moves down. I think we could probably have a go here, guys, at this area, the 0.176, probably worth a look. Render, yeah, 618 reaction on trend. This has held really well, considering what's going on. And yeah, you can see a classic 618 reaction here with a trend line. So I'm watching this area very closely at the moment. If we lose that, we've got an old 786 pull here from the original move, which was this low on 17th of August, that high on 24th of August. So that is also bringing up some kind of support there for us to watch. So if we lose that level, you're probably going to get a bounce here at 1.3, 1.32. That's a decent zone for me. So yeah, but right now you can see a beautiful 618 reaction. It's like a classic setup that I love. We got the horizontal, the trend, the 618, and it always reacts. Obviously, we don't know how much or high it's going to go, but it's always a good zone to look at. Look at this Injective. Beautiful 786 reaction so far. Let's zoom in. Okay, we got the classic double bottom on a fib going down right here. Okay, so that's a nice reaction there. Let's zoom back out. So again, these areas, the way I like to play them is obviously grab a starter position when we dip into these areas. It's already reacted now, so it's a little bit late here. And then if things turn bullish, you can wait for that trend break and go. Otherwise, we're looking for shorts into resistance zones. So let's zoom in on the 1 hour. Let's try and get a clean one for you. Okay, this is a 1 hour situation. As you can see, we got a rejection here on the 382 immediately. We've also got the 200-day MA coming into play here as a resistance zone. So these are your reaction zones. Okay, and this is why I love these fibs so much, guys. They really do add value to your life. If you
just had that
and you
BTC
tie them
alert.
up.
Sorry to interrupt you there, Dylan.
We dumped.
Yeah, we hit that 25,115 level I just talked about.
Here we go.
Oh, wow. Yep.
So if
Mhm.
anything, we are waiting for this reaction here.
Dave, I'm ready for you, bro. Tell
It's already
me when to
doing it.
pull the trigger.
Big reaction.
They're trying hard. Let's see. Yeah, I think that might have been it.
Ooh.
Dave, just tell us where we long, bro. We're ready for you.
The pressure.
All eyes are on you.
We're ready for you, Dave.
Let's see. What is S&P dropping? What is causing this?
Hang on.
Slight Dixie reaction, tiny.
Dow's up 77.
S&P is holding.
NASDAQ's up 77. Which is weird. I'm sorry, S&P's up 19. Sorry.
Yeah, so this might be it here, Dylan.
This is the 15-minute, guys. We're watching this reaction now. We're looking for an SFP. David will explain to you, those that don't know, it's a swing failure pattern. Just tell them what we're looking for here, Dave.
Well, I had an alert set at 25,114. It literally just, when I interrupted you there, that's when that level just got hit, and you can see a little bit of a bounce, $150 bounce, very quickly within minutes. So that's usually an SFP if it's super quick.
Are you on the 15-minute chart?
I'm looking at the 3-minute.
The 3-minute. Okay. Oh, it's Dylan's is 15-minute. Got it.
Yeah.
3 minutes.
Yeah, I was on the 5-minute.
Let's take a look. Let's take a look. Let's take a look.
Yeah, it's not that great of a buyback here.
Next candle.
Guys, just be patient. Just be patient.
2, 5, 2, 5, 6.
We want to see these buyers step in. We want to see them climb in nicely and push this up. If we don't get that nice move up, we're not really that interested. We're going to look for a bit lower then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it doesn't look like a strong
Okay,
buyback.
Dave, you're going to keep us posted on this. I'm going to just carry on with some of these alts in the meantime.
Go ahead. Yeah, I'll be on
Okay,
watch.
so just jump in whenever you're ready, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, Injective, you can see the reaction zone. We were covering the 382, the 618. These are areas to watch. If BTC holds here and starts pushing up, Injective should recover nicely, and then we could look for shorts at major resistance zones. These are the next two areas to watch: the 618, 6.5, and the 200-day MA at 6.7, that sort of region. Okay, Matic is on its way down. This is the Matic weekly, guys. A couple of years ago, I would never have thought when Matic was trading at 2.8. Can you believe it, guys? We are now looking at 0.3 as a target for Matic. This is a weekly chart for you, and you can see my thinking behind it. This is quite a big area. So I would think Matic is now interested to come down to this zone, and there'll be some nice buyers down here that'll step in and then send it up from there. It's only at 0.5, so it is a long way to go. So, it is early days, but I was watching the fact that we have now lost this previous low. I'm going to zoom in here for you. This low is now getting tested. So if this candle stays under this region and closes below, I would think we're going to start the journey down. So let's keep an eye on Matic here. As far as resistance zone goes, there is a resistance area, so we've got work to do there as well. So there's a lot happening here for Matic to get back up into a decent zone. Let's see this 382. So if we do get a market push, this is your zone of interest for Matic. If we get that move up, we can look at a rejection there. We saw that many times on Phantom recently. recently as well. We had once we lost these levels, we had multiple moves up that were tested and rejected. So I would expect something similar here until this FTX FUD starts dying down. Here's Theta for you guys, 8 hour, nearly in a great area. Maybe a little bit more downside here I'm eyeing out, but I quite like it down here to test this wick. You can see it's been tested multiple times. Look at this. On the 10th of June, we had it here on the 17th of August. So maybe one more look down here could give us a nice little move. How it gets there, well, we might come up first and then come back down. I'm quite interested in 0.57. That could be a nice one. And then I still have this limit order for Theta down here at 0.4. And that's going to happen in the dead of the night. The market's going to be collapsing while we're sleeping. And that limit order will hopefully get taken at 0.4. And I marked this area. It just looked like a great weekly zone for me. There was activity in this area, and I think if we start losing levels and things start capitulating, we should get a Theta at 0.4, that sort of level. Right now, it needs to bounce at this 0.57 region, and I'm pretty sure it will bounce there first. There'll be a reaction. Look at the size of these candles. Look at these buyers, the way they bought that. So I think if we get in there, we should get a nice move up. A few percent. Let's take a look here. 5% to trend is 7%. So we should get something out of Theta once we dip lower there. How's BTC there, Dave?
Yeah, it definitely was an SFP that went a little bit lower.
Okay. And this dot, guys,
waiting.
wow. Really set your alarms on dot. This is a huge area. It's a massive area for dot. This 3.9. I'm putting another alarm here. Something to take note here. I mean, if dot's even going to survive as a project, the fundamental guys will need to let us know here. That's an area for me. This 3.8, the chart says bounce. Fundamentally, who knows? Let us know in the chat. Oh, I see we dipped lower there on BTC, Dave. Nice. Let's see where we at. What did we hit there? 24.9. We must go lower. We must go lower. We must take this lower, Dave.
Yeah, there's no really strong buyback there.
Yeah.
Wow. Bye-bye.
I mean, we see there's some guys out there also talking 22. Get our heads around the 22. Let's see why they're saying 22. Okay, well, we got 20 down here in this box. You can see why I like that one. And we've got
8 is the next
21.4 over here. So these are reaction zones. There's a nice zone there. Something to watch.
The hell?
Yeah, it wasn't really a strong reaction here, guys. So yeah, I do think we're gonna go lower. You
think we're going lower?
Yeah,
I love these sessions. There's always action. It's the best.
Yeah. I've got my eyes on 24,817.
Okay, and you can see why Bruce is saying that, guys. This is the low of this candle, right, Bruce?
Yep, that's it.
Okay, so we're watching this candle. We're looking for a bounce here. So this is really, I mean, this is exactly what we're looking for now. But we want to see this fake out now, and then we want to see it board up quickly.
Yeah.
Now the thing to think about here is, Thursday we had that fake out to the top, and then we came right back inside. Now we're below that range.
I mean, if we look at it simply, guys, like we're just looking at this trend, just the natural market movement of a downtrend as we get these bounces. So to move up to this trend up here makes a lot of sense just looking at this current situation.
By the way, if we lose 24,817 on the higher time frames, Bitcoin will have printed its first lower low since back in January on the higher time frames. So we don't want that.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not looking too bad here. We just need to be patient.
Oh.
Let's just get
Uh-huh.
this right. But right now, that's 2%.
Yeah.
24,600. That's the risk.
Yeah, I mean, it looks good. It's definitely below the Keltner channels on the south side of it.
Let's pull up to the 15 minutes.
Just need to see that buyback.
Yeah.
Okay, so guys, I'm going to pull up the Keltner channels, which is a tool that David likes to use. On the 15 minutes, he looks for a wow. Look at that, Dave.
Yeah, there's some serious selling going on.
Okay, so the way David uses the Keltner channels is he looks for a dip out of it, and that indicates a potential reversal coming. You can see we had it there. We had it there. Well, this was a great example the other day, and now this is. I mean, this is pretty extreme, Dave.
Yeah, very extreme.
Okay, we're going to keep watching this. Bruce, do you want to take us through a couple of charts?
Sure.
How's the Discord going? What are you pushing up there?
Not much over the weekend. Last week I did a couple. I did an update on TRB, BLZ, and of course Tomo. But what I've been doing with this kind of market, because it's so reactive, is I've shortened my time frames a lot. So I'm over the weekend, for example, I just let me show what I did on TRB. Let me share, just because nothing lasts. Can I share? You go with it?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Okay, guys, we'll keep watching this BTC while Bruce is
Yeah.
taking us through some of these other
So
charts.
this is the kind of thing I do when markets are like this. Is I look for a trend on the 15-minute or 1 hour. So and you can use your eyeballs for this, right? You don't even need lines. You go, is this thing going up or is it going down? Pretty simple. So in this case, clearly TRB is going up. So all I did is go to the shorter time frames, which is either the 15-minute or the 5, and I take very short trades. So I think I did my first one. I want to confirm. So clearly confirmed going up. So I took my first trade right there. I had a trend line. Trend was actually a little higher. I then tracked that trend line. When it rejects the trend line, I take a trade. Next time it does it, take a trade. So I don't try and get this whole move. All I'm trying to do is capture a little piece of it. And what happens by doing it that way is I reduce my risk dramatically, because on a trade like this, I'm just simply wanting to come back up to that last high. I can have a stop loss as low as like 1% or even smaller. I want to get in there. Let me get in tighter. It's just a trick that I use just to reduce risk. So reject off the trend line. If it breaks through the trend line, I'm out. So it's very simple decision making. But this one was, for example, 0.86%. Did another one over here, which was similar. And I just simply do these things over and over again, just because the market is so volatile right now.
I love the patience you have for this, Bruce. I love the way you can sit here and read these things. I love it.
Yeah, I mean, it's and the nice thing is that you don't go to sleep worried. If it break, for example, on this one, I did the was it this one? I did the shorts first. Blaze, I did the shorts first. Yeah, on Blaze, here's the other one I'm looking at. On Blaze, I did the same thing, but he did shorts, right? So here I short from there. I think I took profit right in here. I didn't enter that one, and captured another one, came down, retested that trend line and that horizontal level, took a short, got out there, and then it converted, right? It converted for on the same time frame, on 15-minute, from going down to up. So then it just waited, right? I waited. And the first time it retested it, I got another one right there, which that was a sweet little trade. And then it broke the trend line, and now I do another one, and now I'm waiting, right? So this thing tagged the 382 unblazed, it came up, came down, it tagged the 382. That confirmed that this new trend line is probably more accurate. So now I'm going to do on this one is simply let it do whatever it's going to do. It's going to do whatever it's going to do. It's going to come down, and at some point it's going to come back there in an hour, in 3 hours, in 5 hours. I don't care. I'll just say I set some alarms on it. I track it, and right at the point that it gets to there, enter long with a tight stop. It'll work over and over again, and then at one point it'll break through it. I'll get stopped out at a small loss, and then look for the next one. So BLZ,
guys, can you see how simple Bruce keeps things? He's just trading the trend. There's nothing complicated here, and you trade the trend until it breaks. So sometimes it breaks, you get stopped out. Sometimes you get stopped out 2 or 3 times. But if you keep riding this trend, you come out on top.
Yep, and it's simple. Small stops, really tight. I'm either in or I'm out. And I set my expectations really low. Like if I pick up a % or 2, right? Oh, that was a lot. That was a lot, but that wasn't normal. But if I pick up 1 or 2% on a move, perfectly happy, right? Perfectly happy with it. So let's take a look at Tomo, because I know that's something everyone's looking at. It is. I didn't trade Tomo yesterday. It's in a range. Let's go back up to the high time frame. It's clearly in this range right there. It's right at the bottom of the range, so it's not a bad place to take a long. Right from here, right from that floor right over there, and it's also clearly, I don't know if you can see it, it's clearly starting to push up. So it broke that little trend. Tomo gets really, really erratic when it's reversing. You can see that right there. That candle, right? You can see that kind of stuff. So just with Tomo, just be patient, let it act out a little bit, do what it's going to do. Personally, I would rather on Tomo, if it's going to go I suspect it's going to something just go up, let it come down, retests, right? On that retest, that's when you have now some confirmation of a trend, and then you can start entering along for there. I'd be patient. I don't think we're going to get anything for another day on Tomo yet. The other thing I am watching really closely is, given the market in general, the bearishness, I wouldn't be surprised if it rejects right here, comes under, and then we're going to go back down to, let me show you in a higher time frame, starting back down into this area right here, probably targeting the 200-day moving average. So personally, hands off from me right now. Even though this looks like a good entry, I just do not trust it at this moment. That's just an intuitive thing. And I could be as wrong as could be, but I've learned to trust my intuition. So I'm going to wait and see that it either confirms the range or rejects the range right there. The other one that I'm looking at is Solana. Solana, we were really, I got so excited the other day, right? Broke out of this long-term trend, got excited, ooh, it's going to go up. And sure enough, it just stayed in this range for a while, and now has lost it, and it's at a minor resistance level, support level. And this is what actually has me concerned about it. In that this is kind of pretty minor right there where it's stopping. So I'm generally going to be bearish on Solana until it proves otherwise, and probably down to this area around 15
Yeah, it's interesting.
so.
There's a couple of areas, and Sheldon and I were also watching 16 to 17 as a region too, but I see what you're doing there. I see you've got 15 targeted there, and that also ties in quite well.
I see it right there.
Yeah,
sure, that makes as much sense. But right now, what I'm gonna do is I'm assuming bearish. So even with Solana, I'm gonna drop down to the lower time frame, right? clean up my trend on that time frame. And if it comes up and it tags this trend line again, I'm going to short it for right now.
So Tom in the chat says he's short on Sol since 27. That's a banger, eh? What a trade.
I love
Well
it.
done.
I love it. That
But
is
I like this.
foresight.
Yeah, somebody also mentioned in the chat there was a double bottom there. So on the 15 minutes. So they're obviously watching Solana closely as well.
Yeah, there is.
I'd like to know what Emmanuel's trading. Let us know in the chat there, Emmanuel, what you trading there.
Yeah, I mean, there's kind of a double bottom there.
Yeah.
And you know, but all that could mean is a push up from there to that trend line, which is also interestingly got a support level right there. So personally, I'd expect it to reject over there. And the thing is, if we catch these either one trade or more down, we're talking about 10% before it finds some solid support.
Yeah.
So not saying it's going to happen, but that's what I'm looking at the moment. And kind of everything else looks the same, actually. I'm looking kind of everything with the same lens right now.
Look, we might get a BTC entry in the next 20 minutes if these things start dumping here. It's looking interesting.
Yeah.
Dave, are you watching that?
Yeah, it's not looking strong yet.
Yeah. I don't know why I marked up that level, but I did. What's that? Come on, higher time frame.
Okay, there's a couple of guys in the chats asking
Oh,
about
yeah.
a token
Yeah,
called
that level.
Feeder. That looks interesting, big level.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is nice, Bruce. I want to see this wick down. I want to see BTC just push through that little gray box.
I would love that too.
Mm.
I rarely trade Bitcoin, but I would actually take that if it tagged it. That is just, I mean, look at the reaction. I mean, here's the thing. Look at the reaction, right? That's, come back here. I mean, that's, you can really see that there's a whole lot of longs, right? Sitting right there.
Mm.
You know, high
So we just want to
likelihood.
we want to take out some stop losses just below that and then reverse.
Yeah. I would definitely be excited by that right there.
Okay, so somebody asked me about a token called Feeder. I'm just looking on the 12-hour. If it just looks a little bit rangy. David, you still watching BTC for us, eh? And Emmanuel,
Yes,
what
sir.
are you trading? Are you going to let us know there? What's going on? We're waiting for you. Okay, let's get the screen out here. Okay, so this is a token called Feeder. I don't know what the story is fundamentally with this thing. This is the 12-hour that I'm looking at. We're just in a very clear range right now. So there are longs and shorts on offer at range lows and range highs. Not sure what the story is with this thing. Let's zoom out. Let's look at a bigger picture. And we are at new lows. Okay, so what do we say when something's going up? It's blue skies ahead. What do we say when it's going down? It's just soil and dirt all the way down to the core. Okay, so this is as far as a range player is concerned. Well, you're nearly at your entry level. If you want to play the range on this thing, you do need to keep an eye on that little wick as well. But this looks like the main sort of area. So if it's going to bounce, it is pretty much at bounce time. Let's look at these stocks as well. The 8 hours turning down, so it wants to come down. The 4-hour needs to reset still a little bit more. So yeah, it could take a little bit more time. But if you purely want to play a range, you can see it's quite clear. Range lows, range highs, moves up, moves down, moves up. Let's see what happens here. Maybe something like that. Just look out for a little wick below.
Hey, Dylan, if you want to brighten your mood a little bit, look at Cyber.
Has it gone to zero? Tell me it's gone to zero.
Nope, I won't tell you that.
Okay. Wow, this is interesting.
Zoom in on it. It's quite a pop.
Okay, this first thing that comes to mind is we are banging into a resistance band here. So that is a
exactly.
warning sign. Let's zoom in now. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That
It's
just must be all the
13%
shorts.
in
It's got to be the
in
shorts.
this hour. Yeah.
Jeez. That's just got to be the short squeeze.
Probably, because that's such a bearish trend.
Broken that 382. There's a 618 coming.
Mhm.
Let's move this out the way. Okay, so there's another nice zone if it does crack this current area. Dave, how are we looking on BTC there?
Well, in the past 20 minutes, we have done a 1% bounce, but it is, well, 8.8% now. Struggling.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's not the
I
quick
would-
reaction I thought it would be.
Okay, so cyber is resistance zone here
Mhm.
for now.
Yeah.
Watch that. And then next area is the 618 over here. Okay. Oh, guys, let us know in the chats. I heard some people had issues seeing my screen. Somebody suggested I do a full screen view. Do you guys know? Is it a trading view setting, guys? Or is it a Zoom setting? Do you know, Dave? David?
On the top right, on the top, way right next to publish, 2 icons in it. 1 icon to the left of the camera.
Uh-huh. Okay. If that helps, let me know. How do I undo this?
I don't know how to do
It's
that.
gone. Okay. Once we push that button, it's gone. Okay. So cyber, just to finish this one, resistance now at trend, and there's horizontal there, and then higher up we got the 618. So 5.76, 5.75 region. Look out for that. Okay, so yeah, it seems like people can see the screen. Emmanuel says emotions go up, intelligence goes down. Eh?
Uh-huh.
Welcome to hell, says Danny. Down to the Browns, says Jason.
Do you want to do something really interesting?
Yeah.
On that same time frame, pull up Tomo. Here's what's interesting. Look how identical they are. Someone just pointed that out. And Tomo's pumping a little bit.
This Tomo looks messy on my screen, yeah. So what am I looking at? I want to see Tomo
I'm
on
go to the 15-minute.
15 minutes.
Yeah.
There
It
we go.
just pumped right up to right through the first trend line to the second. And it was very similar.
Okay, well, let us know if you're going to be taking a trade there.
Well, it's the wick. I'm watching that wick right now. If it looks like it's going to start to reject from there, which is what it talked about, the volatility. It'll get volatile, so wick up, wick back down, wick up, wick down until it settles into a pattern. So someone just wanted me to catch that.
Okay, patience.
So this is patience time.
There was a question: would we long stacks with BTC? I have seen many times stacks does follow a very bullish BTC. So let's try and see what's going on here. I mean, the last time BTC pumped, stacks gave us a 26% response. And now it's lost this major area. So looking at stacks, I smell more downside. And you can see very clearly why it looks like that. we have moved into this new area down here. So old support, guys. So any moves up now, you're in for a battle. You're in for a fight here. And it starts looking more likely that it wants to come lower after a little move higher. I mean, we really just break it into a range situation. You can see it's very clear here that it might want to push lower. So just watch out this 0.446 region as a rejection zone. I wouldn't long it here. There's no real reason to be long here. I think the main area is going to be lower down. Or I'd rather wait, let it reclaim. If it really does turn bullish, let it reclaim this area. And then we can look for that. We can just trade this like block from here to here to 0.49. In fact, let me move this alarm down. Okay, so we'll put the alarm here for you guys. Okay, we should get pinged there on stacks. Control Z, Starlord, thanks. Okay, Control Z for undo. Where was that screen that I was doing that in? Let's see. No, it didn't work. Didn't work. Will remain a mystery. Okay, let's guys. Dave, what are you looking at? You're going to do Gala for us?
I'll go through a handful here. If you want?
Yeah, please.
To take over
Take
the
the
BTC
wheel.
watch.
I'll keep watching BTC for us.
Sure.
Yeah, this BTC is looking weak. Wow.
So this is the area I told you guys I had where it go off. And that's where we wait for the reaction. As you can see in the past 20 minutes, not really a good reaction. So I have a gut feeling I think we're going to go lower. 25,000 is a psychological number. Might be another red deep candle here. So, but started to get into the Discord charts that I had Dylan had helped me get. So let's go here so you guys can see. What was the 7th? Yeah. So Thursday, I saw this breakout. I said if we hold here, you know, I wasn't looking for shorts unless we go back inside. We went back inside. You know, if BTC held itself, I would have thought that Rune trade would have played out better. Had a tight stop, got stopped out. But if you guys followed me here on, I think it was Friday, saw this setup here on render. We were sitting at the 8-hour order block, RSI is pointing down, and this is right before I went to bed last night. Literally was just touching this trend line. So when you guys start to see trend lines forming, don't wait on us. Try to draw them out yourself. I drew this one out here, and literally made this post at the top. So if you guys got in with that, so it was a nice play. Pretty much down to the 6.8. And then this was on the live session too. So it seems like every short idea that I had, they're kind of coming into fruition.
Well, it's science, David, isn't it? It's all science.
It really is. And it's interesting too, when you guys see these order blocks, just pay attention. You'll see these wicks that go past it, and it's like they dance around for a few hours, and then they just go back. They send it right back down. So this was a potential ascending triangle that I was seeing on Link, but that did not. That is now invalidated. Right. So
yeah, we lost that trend, and yeah, there's a nice area coming for Link. I think a little bit lower. Huh?
Yeah, so you can see it lost the trend line. So we'll see where it comes down. I have an alert set here at 5.61. But yeah, so I saw your update on ADA. I think this is a good short area here. Going up to this resistance box. So if you guys want to set an alert here with me, we can do it together.
Okay, and guys, remember, there's a lot of these charts in the Banter Discord. You've got David's charts are there under David's trade ideas. We've got Bruce's charts and we've got Simon's indicator charts also there. So just go look under Sniper Setups. It's all there for you.
So I typically like to have two with these order blocks, one at the bottom, one at the top. But yeah, that'd be nice. Let's see if BTC has some kind of rally. There's always some type of relief rally at some point, but that's what I've got.
BTC is going to fall over here.
Yeah.
It's looking heavy.
Ooh.
Yep. Tagging
Oh, this is
25.
looking heavy.
Things are bleeding.
I mean, I'm a little bit excited. I don't know when it's going to end, but this is exciting.
Yes, opportunity coming to our basket.
Okay, like we all sound a little bit morbid today, guys, but we are a little bit excited. I can hear alarms going off in my ear here too. I see the render alarm just going off.
Well,
yeah, alarms are going off, guys. Adam here, I've got an alert set here, and Adam at 6.64 for short setup. So if we could pump up here, 5% up.
Okay,
And
look at
then-
the reaction quickly on BTC here. They're buying this thing up. Look here.
mhm.
So 25,000 twice.
Come
See
on.
what happens.
Still selling.
Here's what's funny is that we're all excited about a 2.5% move.
Mm.
It's such a big move.
I just want to see it. I just want to see it wick a little bit lower. Yeah.
Yeah. I think you'll get your wish.
What do you think, Dill? What are you looking at long in here?
I want to see this 24.8.
24.8.
A little bit lower.
Ooh, I like that. Mhm.
You got your, you got 24.8. Yeah. Somewhere around there.
Yeah, so if we were to bounce off 24.8, wonder if there's any alt setups that would lie right up there.
There's a lot.
Nice.
There's a lot sitting on good areas. Look at this render sitting on 618 right now.
It is. Yeah.
Injective, I like this area. This feeder, whatever that is. And the cyber won't stop. I mean, it's massive candle. Yeah, look at this thing.
Yeah.
Good to see.
A decent 15-minute candle.
This is like watching an intense movie for us.
By the way, for those of you who haven't watched this show, usually we're just showing charts and markups and possible entry points, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What you're watching now is actually close to what trading is really like, right? Just sitting for a whole long while going like, okay, come on. You know, it's lot of slow patience, slow burn.
Yeah, so it looks like Dylan was waiting for something like this.
Mm-hmm.
Paraffin says this is better than Netflix.
Yeah.
Okay, let's look at
true.
LPT. I'm not liking this look here on BTC. Let's look at LPT.
Yeah, I'll pass it back to you then. So you can do LPT.
Just keep your eyes on this. Tell us when we're logging in.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye. I got my alert.
Okay, remind me, was LPT an actual token? I mean, is it like, what is this thing? What are we looking at here? I mean, is it a project or a scam coin? I've got 50-day MA
Ooh.
support. So yeah, I mean, guys, it's always fascinating the way these alts drop onto their corresponding support levels when BTC is at its various support levels. Dave, that looks good. This is looking good.
Yeah, let's see here. Basically a 1% bounce from the bottom.
Okay, look at this render reaction. Look how render's holding the 618. Okay, LPT, 50-day MA support, drop down with BTC onto a corresponding support area. We've got a trend we can track. So if things turn bullish, we do have that trend. Where would we look for a rejection? Well, you can see this old 618 that it was reacting around over there. This is now a resistance area. So if we do get this pop in the trend, expect a rejection there. And then we'll see what type of retest we get after that. To decide what the next play is going to be. There is a golden cross. If that is of interest to anybody, that's when the 50-day crosses above the 200. That's supposedly a bullish scenario. We're seeing a mix of these death crosses and golden crosses on various alts. And then if we do come lower, this is my zone here. This 200-day, the 200-day and the horizontal is nice. Let's see what we have with regards to fibs here. Oh, okay. Okay, so if I had to be long LPT, I think this is a great zone down here, 5.6. And you can see why now. We've got the 786, which often gives good results. We've got a 200-day MA, also gives good results. And we've got a horizontal area here. So yeah, pretty high conviction bounce area for me. We do have some action there as well, okay, in that region. Okay, so that is a great area as far as I'm concerned. 5.6 LPT. Let's put an alarm here. Okay, nice one. How are we doing on BTC there, Dave?
Looks like it's coming back down.
Maple Finance, yes. Emmanuel, I was looking at Maple. So Emmanuel says Maple Finance is up. We were looking at it last week on Sheldon's show, and it was just sitting in a red. Jeez, did you see that? Cyber. I mean, what are we going to do with this thing? You can't buy this candle, guys. Like, as tempting as it might be, you can't buy this candle. You're asking for trouble. So just be careful here. Jeez, this looks ridiculous. Okay, so this is the support. On any pullbacks, you want to see this support hold. So if you get that and you think there's going to be some more bull time on cyber, just try and get the support buy. And look out here. Be careful here. 5.73. Let's look at Maple. So we were looking at this on Sheldon's show the other day. Look at that. So we caught that little trend break, and now we've banged into a resistance band, and you can see, guys, why does it reject? Just look for like obvious areas. You can see why I love these things. Resistance zone, 50-day MA. So expect a reaction in these regions. There's no guarantee that you bang on a reaction zone and it sends it to 0, or you bounce off a reaction area and suddenly goes up 20%. But we do know that these are strong areas where you get something, and they're high impact zones. So just stick to them. So yeah, Maple, looking good. We had that trend break. That was your buy. This was a couple of days ago. We had our support area here that we were looking at, 4.44. And yeah, play the supports. If I was looking for longs on Maple now, I would look for a move higher first, support, and then go. I wouldn't try and long into a resistance area unless you love having big fat stop losses. That's 13% to the low. So if things reverse on Maple, it's 13% to break that previous low. So it becomes quite a risky play. So for longs, you want to push up and get support. Bears, well, this is a short zone. This is your horizontal resistance. You got 50-day MA there. Let's pull a fib. I'm going to pull a fib from that high to this low. Let's see what we got. Okay, 382. So you see these reaction zones start talking to one another. So you can see why there's a problem there. Okay, 382 horizontal 50-day. Okay, Alvin says Cass is holding. I don't know if I can look at Cass today. Perp is pumping. Marcus, thanks for that. Perp is actually, I've added Perp to my watch list, I think.
Yeah.
There it is, Marcus.
If you want, I have a Blaze, a BLZ setup that's starting to form. If you
Okay.
want to look at it.
Who's ready to go long Blaze? Or are we going short?
Well, it's going to be long and it's not even close to ready, but I'm setting a trap for it. If you want to look.
Yeah, please.
Sure. Okay. Okay. So this is just exactly the same kind of trades I was taking. Trend trades. Trend has been up, retraced back to the that was the 618. Oh no, there's a 382 from down below. Now it's rejecting up and it's rejecting again. So I drew a fib from the bottom to the top there. The 618 intersects exactly at the trend line. So what I'm doing now is going to just wait. This thing comes down over to here. Anywhere in this area, I would love it to hit the trend line a little deeper, but if it hits a 618, I'll probably just enter it at that point. If it comes down really quickly, I'll probably then wait for it to bounce a little bit just to confirm that it's not going to drop through that level. But I'm looking at this area right there. So that might take another, this on the 15-minute. So this might take another 45 minutes, 3 or 4 candles to get there, depending on how the market moves. But that's how I'm setting it up. So just worth watching.
Nice, Bruce.
And by the way, my stop loss is right outside the trend line. So the stop is, in this case, it's 1.1, just below the 786 line.
What is that on Bybit? Okay, I'm looking on the Binance chart. It looks a little bit different.
Yeah. This is Bybit.
I want to see this.
By the way, what I do is when I actually go to take the trade, I take my setup, I copy it into MEXC, and then I'll only use the MEXC for the final setup. So this is just an estimate.
Yeah, so guys, remember, not all these tokens look identical on exchange to exchange. I mean, the one I had in front of me was Binance, and it actually looks slightly different, and the prices are a little bit out, actually.
BLZ.
But if you're trading on Bybit, use the Bybit chart. You can't buy a limit order off a Binance chart, for example, if you're on Bybit and there's a difference in the price.
Right.
Especially with stops and things like that.
Yeah.
So on Binance, it says 0.1388 right now, Bruce, the price. What have you got there?
Yeah. I just brought up the Binance chart.
Okay.
So let's see how far off it is. Yeah, it's
Were they
about the same.
different, or am I just going mad?
Actually, it's prettier. The binding chart's prettier than what I had. So, yeah. Yeah, especially if you're scalping or you need really precise entrances, then you definitely want to be actually doing the final setup on your exchange in real time. Yeah. So, yep, something like that. And now it's just patience.
Nice.
I mean, it's like fishing, right? You put the bait on the hook, you stick it in the water, and then you drink a beer and you wait for it the fishies to come bite your hook. By the way, this could just be continuing. Just no, don't be surprised if this thing doesn't come down and just keeps on going from there. At which point you just go on to the next setup. Don't chase it. So I'll post this in Discord. Something worth watching.
Yeah, thanks. Nice one.
Yeah.
Dave, can we have a BTC update?
It's a slow buyback. I think if we want to go long, maybe this is the chance. Probably stop loss below the wick, but it's reclaimed at 25, 100, holding.
Okay, so let me show you my chart. Let me show you my thinking here. I like to see it bought up a bit quicker.
Yeah.
It wasn't great. So now we've identified an area, we've lost a level, okay, and we haven't reclaimed it that quickly. I like to see the move down and then a quick move higher. We haven't really got that. So for me, we've got resistance up here to deal with now. So I think we need to see what happens here in this region first. So let it push up a little bit more. Let's see what happens at this 25,300 now. This area is an issue for me. Now, what are you thinking?
Makes sense. Yeah.
What is our risk if we long here? Let's look at that as well.
Let's say less than 1%.
Okay, so if we are long here, it's it's
Oh, yeah.
0.8%.
Nothing.
And what is your upside? Your upside is 4%. So it's a risk reward, guys, of 4.5. So if you want to be long here, you've got a 4. This is 4.8. Okay, let's pull it down a bit. Your risk reward is just over 4 if you want to be long here. Your risk is 0.8% of your position size. Things that bother me, this resistance zone here, 25,300. So for me, I want to see what happens there. And then lower down, let's see, what did we hit? We had 24.9. We didn't get that flush out. That's just a little bit of an issue for me. Unless I had too much conviction about that.
Oh, it's not done yet, I don't think. It's going to continue doing its thing.
Yeah, I really just wanted to see it come a little bit lower because we know there's stop losses here. We know they're sitting here. So we just want to flush that out. Injectives holding. Let's see render. Let's check in on render. So look at that nice reaction there. It's still looking good. Perp, little rejection there. Marcus, are you long perp? Let us know. 382 rejection, guys. This is a house of science. Gala, Dave, what's the plan for Gala? For those of you that long Gala, we lost a level. We are looking for a move higher, but we have a bit of a problem with this resistance area here. Is there any more news on Gala and the current situation? Have they sorted out their issues, guys? Do you know?
I haven't heard anything. I don't know if anybody else has.
My friends who are heavy into gaming say that for right now, they're not touching it with the 10-foot pole.
Okay, so hurry up and wait. We've lost a level. Let's not rush back into it then. Let's wait and see what happens. You can see we are looking reverse price discovery. We are going to like back in the day when they launched the project. Okay, small little dip for Gala. It's just a little move down of 98%. Nothing serious.
Crazy.
If you bought the top, you are now in it for the tech. Hopefully you're not still holding if you bought the top. We've all bought the top of something. Don't feel bad.
Exactly. More than
I was
once.
longing the top of Phantom at $3, guys, on leverage. We really believed Phantom was going to 10.
Mm.
We were taught not to believe that. Okay, Engine Coin was the move for gaming. JJ probably was. We saw that pop the other day. Let's look at Engine. What did we get here? Okay, lots of up and down, guys. Look at this. Up, down, up, down. These pumps, they can't be trusted. But the rejections, always the same story with rejections, guys. Look at that. 786, trend, horizontal. Wait for those moves up. And Engine is back where it started. So what do we have for Engine from a bull's perspective? Well, we've got this little trend we can watch. Yeah, there's no trade here yet for me anymore. I think we got to let it play out a little bit more. Guys, let us know in the chat. What did you buy the top of? Don't be shy. We've all done it. Let us know. Feeder. Still hanging in there. Stacks. dYdX, we could get our buys in here. 1.78 could be coming. Render's loving that 618, guys. Render always loves 618. Ren Boys bought ETH at 3.8.
Really solid.
I've heard worse stories on ETH, but 3.8's pretty hectic. Luna, yeah, we definitely bought the top of Luna. I thought Luna was going to 1,000. I was logging Luna at 100. That was fun. That was a fun experience. It was a fun month or two. Axie 96, yeah, that was, I remember that. That was great. ETH and Sol would have burnt at about 220. I think that would have hurt a little bit. Bought Phantom at the top for sure. Yeah, we drank the Kool-Aid, Casey. I drank that Kool-Aid with you. Phantom was going to 10. I was convinced. Marcus says he nearly bought everything at the top. Luna, Kusama. Kusama was a big deal back then. Kusama, let's look at that Kusama chart.
Kusama and Dot, the parachain thing.
This feeder might be an opportunity here, guys, if BTC is going to hold. I think we've missed the actual move here on Render. Guys, remember, Render loves that 618. Like a lot of these alts love the 618, but Render, I've traded Render a lot. And that 618 always gives a good response. Yeah, Tasman Matic, that one hurts. We must look at KSM. Yeah, Matic is, jeez, it looks like it wants to go to 30 cents. Ooh, this Kusama, wow. Kusama was something like $400 at one point.
Yeah.
And we thought it was good value. Look at this thing. 500. It hit 600 in 2021. Okay, interesting levels here. Let's look on the weekly. So guys, when you want to zoom out and you want to look for big levels starting off, just go back, go onto the weekly chart and track back. You want to look for 2 or 3 at least touches of these weekly candles, and they sort of confirm that you have a strong zone that you're dealing with. Then you can start pulling in fibs and other things. So here we've got 2 touches over there on the weekly. So we know that these candles were banging on this on a weekly situation. So 16.5, that looks decent. Geez, can you even pull a fib on this thing? Yeah, no, you can't. There's going to be nothing there. Okay, so I would play this the same way, you know, Matic's looking like this too now. It wants to come lower. It's actually got a very similar setup. It's lost this previous low over here, and now it wants to come down. So if it doesn't close up and start making its way, you're going to probably look at something like that. So Kusama at 16, if it's still a project. I mean, remember, a lot of these tokens that we look at might not even survive another year. So just be careful as to what you are buying. Just do some research. Yeah, Marcus says he bought a lot of Luna. Yeah, Luna was a hard ride, guys, and like those tokens were staked, so it made it burn even more. Yeah, we all got hit with Luna. Don't worry. It wasn't pleasant. Okay, SHIB. Are we on BTC there, Dave?
Just sitting at the same spot. Not really doing too much.
Okay, so SHIB will pull a fib low to the high. We just want to see where we've got a 618 and things. Not great. 786. Not tying in very nicely. 200-day we've lost. 50-day we've lost. Ooh. SHIB. Jeez. I remember, I mean, all these dog tokens.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so there's an area. SHIB 0.00005. That looks where we need to be. I mean, why wouldn't we come back and test this wick at some point, 10th of June? I mean, what is SHIB even doing? Is there anything to buy? Okay, who knows? Levels for me down here. Lots of zeros and then a 5855, that sort of thing. Multiple zeros. Floki and Doge. Jeez, the dogs. And Pepe's let us down. Pepe is like, we had so much hope for Pepe, and now the developers of Pepe are fighting, and who knows if it's even going to be a project. Floki's not looking good, guys. I don't like it. I don't think this is cool. Look at this. It's losing that area over there. Okay, so price discovery to 0, to the core of the earth. Kadena, Kedena. Let's look at that. This looks all right. At least it's alive. Gee, some of these coins look bad. Wow. Okay, so you do this quite simply. You pull from the low of this move to the high, and you want to see where you get a tie in. Specifically on the trend is also quite nice to look for. So firstly, well, here's your 618. No surprises, it's got some kind of reaction there.
Yep.
And then you've got the 786 down there. So that looks quite neat, actually. So high conviction areas, it wouldn't be here for me because I can see this trend. So for me, at some point, it always wants to come back to the trend. So it might do something along those lines or that, you know.
Yep.
So yeah, just wait a little bit more on this guy. Well, in my view, that's, yeah. Kind of just wait for the trend to come into play, and then we get a move.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Injective's looking better. I feel almost disappointed we didn't get this move on BTC. I was getting proper excited.
Yeah.
I was loading up the trading account there.
I mean, it might come in a few hours still.
It seems to have gone back to growing grass.
But look at the response from these alts. Let's take a look at dominance here. I mean, this is quite a nice bounce here from Render, even though BTC is so flat. Look at that rejection. Okay, so guys, when you see dominance rejecting like that, means the alts are holding out well, or some money's flowing into there, and you can see that response. BTC is hanging around flat, dominance is dropping, and some of these alts have turned green. Render, for example, Injective. There's a bit of green action there. Okay, so dominance comes down. You can see it's reacting here. There's this horizontal here. You can see for some reason the dominance does follow a bit of TA. So what do we get? Something like that. That's going to hurt the alts. We lose the trend. That's nice. Let's look there. ELZ breaking trend, says Martin. Injective 15 minutes. CTK, Sylvia. Dave says ETH is in trouble. Aspen A is laughing about buying JPEGs. What do you mean? NFTs are the future. What are you talking about? I own a spaceship. I'll never be able to get rid of it. Bought the spaceship, thought it was a good investment. Some alien game or something. Okay, ETH. Ooh, okay. ETH is looking interesting here. We've had a test of that wick. This is an area you want to see ETH hold. If we zoom out, you're going to see there's a major trend here. Okay, so these are areas for ETH. Let's see what we have with some fibs. Not great. Let's see from this move here. I'm going to pull a fib from the low here to that high. 786 over there. Yeah, it's not tying in very nicely, but look, you can see why it's reacting here, guys. When these things visit these wicks, they love to bounce the second time. Something always happens there. Keep your eyes on the 786, but I don't have anything tying in with it, so it's not a high conviction area for me. We've got the death cross. Remember, we were talking about the golden cross. Here's the death cross, the 50-day crossing over the 200. That's not a good look. Let's wait for ETH to maybe bounce here a little bit. Anyone who's long ETH, you guys know their stops are sitting under there, maybe a little bit lower. So if you want to be long ETH, just be aware that there's other people long their stops in the same place. So if they want to wiki out, they'll just do that, and they'll go 1,500 somewhere around there. You can obviously play this resistance potential short. If it breaks, rejection there, you can see why it should reject there, retest, maybe then we'll go up. So those are the sort of options. Yeah, JJ says ETH has been bleeding too long. Yeah, it's been almost like a stable coin. It hasn't done much. It just slowly drifted down. And it's far away from this 200-day MA. And we've had some great moves from ETH off this 200-day. Look at this guy here, 200-day there. Look at that reaction off the 200-day here. And then we pinged it here, nothing happened, and they just sent us down. So it'll be interesting to see when ETH goes back to the 200-day. Look at that. So even if we get a bullish move into the 200-day, guys, just keep it on your charts. It should give you a nice reaction either way. Yeah, ETH dumping doesn't look good for alt, definitely not.
Quick update, that Blaze trade that I showed a couple minutes ago is invalid now. It broke, it completely rejected up 382, broke the trend line, and it's off into space somewhere. So now
There
we'll
it
wait for
goes.
the next one.
Yeah, that's the one token I think it's gonna probably go to like 17 cents.
Yeah.
I wonder where it's at in coin market.
It's one of these 2017 old tokens. Some of the research guys don't even understand why this thing is moving.
I really think it's because it's, so I'm looking now, it's at 310 on CoinGecko. Market cap is 60 million.
There's a class of tokens that when the market's dumping, I swear that people just take their money out of the renders and the dYdXs and the ETHs, and they stick it into these for a quick pump to pump them, make some money until the market settles down, and then they move money back into the Bitcoins and the ETHs. I swear that's what's happening. There's no reason to think that.
The whale's figuring out how to make money during this downturn.
Yeah.
I wish I was under a Telegram.
Because there's no fundamental reason for it.
There's not.
Yeah, look, no one understands it. So it's quite puzzling.
$60 million market cap.
Yeah, I mean, classic, right?
It would double in price. If it doubled in price, it'd be in the lower 200s. So yeah, it doesn't really take much to pump it. I think that's what's going on here.
Yeah.
Marcus says Perp just got wrecked. Yeah, Marcus 382. The king. Well, the king is the 618. Let's call 382 the prince. Don't discount the power of these areas, horizontals and fibs. Got to believe in it. Prime fell off a cliff today. Do we know what prime is? This feeder is still holding here, guys. Okay, prime is wrecked. Let's look for areas. Let's get our heads around this thing. Okay, trend for prime. Let's look from there to there. I don't think we'll have a 200-day. Can't even see it. There isn't one.
Wow.
Fib from the low to the high. Horizontal. Nice. Let's see. Back test this thing.
Ooh.
Doesn't really tie in very well. Okay, well, something to watch. Prime, if I don't even know what this thing is. This is a current support now. So watch that. PYR, yes. PYR, I actually bought some PYR today. I figured I had to own some more gaming tokens. Okay, so this one looks like it's got a golden cross coming. So often we see a dump or pump, into a death cross or golden cross. Here it's dumping into a golden cross.
Oh, yeah.
Just want to get a proper view here. Okay, so yeah, I mean, for me, I just bought some DCA stuff here. So it wasn't a trade or anything.
Yep.
You can see why.
This is
Big
good,
rejections.
actually, for that.
That's, yeah, I mean, this is the box it's trading in. Let's look at this volume profile here. Let's take this range. So yeah, this area down here, this 3.2 should be decent, should give a reaction. Down to 3.1. Yeah, so not really, yeah, I mean, not really a high conviction leverage long here. Just
It's a beautiful DCA zone, isn't it?
but nice sell-off,
Yeah.
It's lost that. Well, see what happens when it dips below this trend, but yeah, not bad, yeah. Mohammed Dylan is interested in FIDA now. Yeah, well, it just looks interesting. You can see it's like they're buying it at the bottom of the range. I think a lot of this is going to depend on BTC here. It's been dumping with BTC today. It's not doing its own thing. But yeah, something's going on there. Okay, so Rodolfo says Prime belongs to the gaming industry. According to Hustle, who's on Banter. Guys, if you want gaming stuff, you must watch Hustle's show. It could have a similar impact to what Axie Infinity had. Okay, interesting. JJ likes my background. Thanks, bro. I put a lot of effort into it. I was inspired by MDX because he has that real beach behind him. And I thought we better get a real background. Okay, QNT at 92 might be nice. Greg, thanks. Let's take a look at QNT. I did all right on what we did trade QNT last week. Okay, was that the one we were holding? Oh, look at this thing. We longed this thing, guys, didn't we? Bruce, was this the trade that Simon gave us?
I don't remember. I didn't take one.
I hung on to it for dear life. It eventually bounced, and I did quite well out of it. But it did put me under a bit of pressure. But I see now it's coming straight back to hell here. The 786 is a lot lower. So if it loses this this area here, guys, 786 for sure for me. Somewhere around 80, 79, 80. Let's look at these Lux Algo things here. Well, we got our first cross. Is Simon around? I'd love him to do this for us.
No, he's not. He's got some family stuff right now.
Okay. Okay, what do we get? We got a short. We got the short signal. It's still printing lower. So guys, I've tied in, it says your optimal sensitivity on the bottom right hand side. So it says 19. So that's why I went in here into the settings and I change this to 19. So it ties up. It was on 15 previously, and it had given me this plus, this cross sign. But if we have to tie it into the 19, we don't have that that cross just yet. So just wait for it to form. You normally get 1 or 2 before there's the actual reversal. And then I know he watches these oscillators, this thing, the matrix. And from the little that I know about this thing, it's printed a green triangle here, which is a start. And it looks like this cash flow band is getting thinner. So it might be turning green at some point. I'm going to ask him to comment on this in the Discord for us when he can. But it's brewing, it's turning into a long zone here. You can see it's in this green band. Okay, so keep your eyes on this guy. Could be something for us. BTC update.
Showing just a little bit of buyback.
Okay, the risk is now 0.9%. Feeder. Okay, Dave, are we long BTC yet? I need to go home. Are we long or are we leaving it?
I think if you want to long, this is probably it.
Okay, I'm going to long BTC here. 0.9% risk. Okay, I'm taking a small size position. The risk is 0.9%. And we'll leave the rest up to the crypto gods. Okay, so this is my feel on a BTC still. Maybe a short-term move up here from this area. I still want to see this move lower to this 24.8. I will exit under this candle. If we lose this candle, I'm not going to hang around. I want to see this flush out 24.8. I want to see what happens here. So yeah, this is not a high conviction long for me. It's just a long. And let's see how it plays out. Okay, Rodolfo likes Naka, N-A-K-A. Let's look at that as well quickly. Uzi wants me to add a swimming pool and a few palm trees. I could try. I could try. Don't you like the mountain? It's an actual mountain. It's real. Okay, let's look at Nakamoto quickly. Yeah, it was looking quite promising the other day. We had that little flag break. But considering what BTC has done today, this thing's hardly moved. It's not bad. Rodolfo, good spot. Some support here. 618's a little bit lower. Not great. I actually remember this one. Sheldon traded this well like a few times, and I've always stayed away because the fibs didn't really tie up sometimes for me. Yeah, it looks all right. Yeah, that's support 0.411. And again, watch BTC, see what happens there. Dave, are you long BTC or did you leave me out to dry there? Hang me out to dry.
And I said if you want to long it, this is your chance. I'm not longing it.
I think it's a nice way to say hang out to dry.
Dave, you hung me out to dry.
I
there,
can't.
bro.
I don't
Okay,
want to
well,
catch a
guys,
knife right
I'm
now.
long BTC. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. Okay, but yeah, I'm going to be watching carefully for this situation down here. I'm going to put my alarm on here when we start hitting this region. Okay. So Dave, just confirming you hung me out to dry there.
Well, I got my alert at 24.8. I'll join you then.
Yes. In fact, this is what Joshua says. I went long, so you know what you need to do. You know what you need to do now. You need to short.
No, I can't go against you, man.
Okay, guys, look, it's always fun. I see JJ longed BTC with me. I appreciate that, JJ. Thank you. Mohammed says he's got my back. Thank you. Just mark it long there, Mohammed, for me. You can keep that price up. You'll pump it for me there, I'm sure. Nick is flashing his trades to everybody here. 113% he's done on AKR. Beth, long BTC. Beth, I appreciate that. Okay, guys, look, it's a Greg's also long BTC. Okay, well, good luck out there. You know what your risk is, and you know what we're looking for on more downside.
Yeah.
Obviously, make sure you have the chart in front of you. Don't just randomly long it when you see 24.8. Make sure you are watching carefully. You can even sort of stagger in if you see it sort of pushing lower, and then you want to see what David likes to call that SFP. You want to see them come buyback quite quickly. So just look out for that. Cool, guys. But yeah, not much activity, unfortunately. We did see some decent areas hit. The render, for example, Injective, for example. But again, you know, we got to make sure that BTC is happy. And we are not sure right now on how we feel about BTC. So just be careful out there. John says, great session. Thanks, John. I hope you guys had fun. We were all a little bit morbid today. Hey? That red brings out that bad vibe. But it is exciting waiting for these things to happen. It's a pity we didn't get BTC where we wanted it. Okay, cool, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow. Bruce, Dave, everybody.
Bruce,
thank you.
Good.
Yes, thank you guys. Great session.
And yeah, we'll catch you on the Discord as well. Beth says she's got a tight stop on BTC. Okay, cool, guys. We will see you all tomorrow. We'll do this all over again.
Tomorrow.
Yes,
Good, everybody.
Ciao, ciao.